Hi all. Everything in my video is pulled from the public domain, and I am using them under the Fair Use, Fair Dealings guidelines. Everything I say is my own opinion. You should look into this information for yourselves, but I'm pretty sure I'm right.
Good morning, everybody. Don't you just love this picture above? This is going to be, believe it or not, a shorter video. We're covering two major stories. Well, we have like two updates. After that, we're covering two major stories, not even major. One is about what's going on with Better Up, and the other one is Sophie and Edward's tour continues. So let's just jump in, shall we? Let's go. We're starting off with this article. Remember I showed you this the other day, and I said, Scobie said that Harry has every right to make sure that the right people are around the Queen and that the wrong people should be eliminated. Well, one of you had a very interesting comment about that. DMN pointed out that we should give Harry credit for making sure the Queen is surrounded by the right people because he moved Meghan a few thousand miles away from her. Spot on. I already covered this in another video, but this just backs up what I said. Harry and Meghan were absolutely shocked when the royal family didn't give them what they wanted. Here's what I think. I think Meghan said to Harry, "You're William's brother. They can't get along without you. If you push them, they're going to give us anything that they want. You'll see, they'll give us everything. They're never going to let us go. Watch this." You know what I'm saying? And then the family didn't do it. And I think they were like, "What?" Meghan was like, "Watch this. We're going to get even with them. Come on, we're going to leave. And then we're going to do this and this and this and this. And the family's going to want us to stop. And because they're going to want us to stop, they're going to give us what we want." Hasn't worked out that way at all. That's exactly my thought process on it. All right, moving on. So I put this tweet up yesterday from Richard Eden where supposedly Harry is saying he will not be going to Charles's coronation if Camilla is anointed queen. And I got a lot of comments about that, and people were like, "Yeah, you didn't really explain." So let me dive in just a little bit deeper for this one, just for you guys. So the article is saying that Harry has no intention of attending the coronation. He's refusing to back down, even though the Queen gave Camilla her, stamp of approval. Okay, so don't go. just don't go. But who here really thinks that he would not show up for that event? Who here really thinks that he would miss the publicity, or he would let Meghan miss the publicity? Let's be real. I mean, who is he to say, "I'm not backing down, you better not do this"? It's deluded. All right, that's the story. Now let's move on. So one of the two stories we're going to cover today, and the other one is the tour. We're going to finish up some stuff on the tour, is that there's a problem with Better Up. According to one of the coaches there, they have hired and fired so many VPs, and nobody's even sure what Harry does there, and it's very smoke and mirrors, which makes it not very credible to a lot of the people who work there. Let's cover some of this just to make sure that everybody really understands what's going on here. Apparently, Harry went to work as the CHIMPO, the Chief Impact Officer at the Better Up Company, which is promising to help promote the startup's mission of mental fitness, and they have like 2,000 coaches. Now, 6 months later, there's a big problem because Better Up apparently announced it's going to modify their contracts, and what it is actually is a sneaky pay cut. The coaches spoke anonymously, and they said that one coach who their pay was slated to fall by a third. And that coach said, "My heart is broken, and I think there's really questionable ethics going on because they've turned the coaches into a commodity." Yeah, go figure. Apparently, there's a new rating system that influences how much they make, right? So the company announced a plan to cut a stipend coaches used for note-taking, researching clients, and assigning activities. So they're getting rid of them. And the new metrics retroactively evaluated coaches based on how life-changing a client found their guidance and how frequently they met for sessions. Get it? And one of the coaches said, "Listen, if I'm coaching a member, I don't want to be focused on how they're going to rate me. From an ethical perspective, we're there to coach the client, not have them press the like button." There you go. So now that all of this is happening, Better Up now is saying that they're going to modify the original plan, although the details of what they're going to do are very vague. Now, the company put out some sort of a statement, and like one of the coaches said, I'm relieved, but I'm not satisfied. And the fact that Better Up rolled out their plan at all makes me very suspect of their intentions and makes me distrust them. They said it was demeaning and insulting to have to pressure them to not give us pay cuts. It leaves a bad taste, in somebody's mouth. And this same person also said they can't unionize because they're independent contractors, but there were over 600 people that were outraged of the 2,000. This one coach said it best. She said, for a company whose mission it is to help empower people through the world, they're not walking the walk. Spot on. Here's another interesting thing. Better Up, they do these things called stipends, which they utilize for creating assignments like articles and videos and podcasts and stuff. But they're basically eliminating that. So they're being told to complete these tasks for a multi-million-dollar company, but they're not going to get paid for it. And so the coaches are like, we're not volunteering our time. Now, here's the biggest part. One of the people said, the company lacks transparency. They've hired and hired and hired, and they have so many VPs, we don't even know what the VPs do. And none of the coaches was even clear about Prince Harry's role either, raising questions about how meaningful his role is. Spot on. A private social media group was set up with hundreds of the coaches. By the way, they're not allowed to discuss their pay with each other. And they expressed concern about the rapid evolution of the professional coaching world. Basically, it's crowdforce funded. Did I say that right? I hope so. Anyway, most of the coaches said they're going to have to stick because it's their primary income and they're stuck between a rock and a hard place. Well, I got to tell you, my thought process on that is you should take Harry's advice. And if you're unhappy, you should just quit. Spot on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you have to bear with me on this because I don't think the rest of this is going to be in the correct order in which it happened, but let's just go with it. Sophie and Edward went to a performance that celebrated St. Lucia's young people, and I doubt I'm going to say this right, at the So Freer mini stadium. It looks like a good time was had by all. And of course, there was music playing and Edward and Sophie had to get into the mix of it as they usually do. Here's a short video just to show you how much fun everybody was having. Notice Edward is on the left, Sophie is on the right. Here you go. Now, for those of you who didn't see it, you may have to go back and look. Sophie's got some moves. She was enjoying the hell out of herself. I didn't realize she was such a good dancer, kind of like what happened with William on the tour. All right, moving on to the next stop. So the next thing that happened is Sophie and Edward got on a boat in St. Lucia for a ride. Edward, such a gentleman, helped his wife onto the boat. Could you imagine if she fell in? Yeah, that's not good. Anyway, they got on the boat. They went for a spin. Looks like that everybody once again had a good time before they moved on to the next stop. All right, their next stop, as Catherine and William did when they were on their tour, was to stop at a cocoa farm. And once again, the woman is the one doing the work. Edward's just standing there. Yeah, just kidding. Anyway, they spoke with the people there at the cocoa farm and how it helps their economy. And once again, Sophie looked absolutely fabulous. And I love the flowers they gave her at the end. So pretty. And then they were on to the next thing. Okay, so the next thing that they did was they did a visit to a place called Sulphur Springs, where they heard all about the history and the evolution of the volcano and everything that's going on around the base of the volcano. Pretty cool. And I have to assume from these pictures that it was quite warm there. That's what it looks like from the way Sophie's sweating. But it looks like they had a really, really, really good time. I'm happy. Beautiful scenery. Too bad I'll never visit there. All right. Edward and Sophie went through the town where that mini stadium was, where they met the kids, and they got to wave to the well-wishers that were all lined up waiting for them. I think that just shows that it's management who's not crazy about them, but the people really seem to like them. Sophie also met with owners of businesses, female-led businesses, to discuss with them the impact that the coronavirus has had on their work. Quick Finn update. We were doggy sitting for some friends on vacation, and I took a quick video of them. Watch this. We have a friend who's staying with us for a few days. Meet Muro. Say hi, Muro. Hi. Muro. What a nice, sweet boy. And Finn likes having a friend over, don't you? Yes. So, I want your comments. What do you guys think about what's happening with Better Up? What do you think about the way the tour is winding down? Make sure to leave those comments below because you know I love them. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, follow me on Rumble. You can follow me on Getter. You can email me. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and make sure you're still subscribed. That's a really important one. For those who have donated to my coffee fund, thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.